It's not bragging. An elite wide receivers and the confidence they exude often permeates an entire team. You're going to see a couple of examples of that in this one. Welcome, everyone, to Memorial Stadium in Bloomington, Indiana, home of the Indiana Hoosiers. As we'll see the number 19 team in the country, the Alabama Crimson Tide, taking on one of the participants from last year's playoff, the Indiana Hoosiers. For EA Sports College Football, Reese Davis with you alongside David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, can't wait to get this one started. Alabama about to kick off to get this game underway. A special teams miscue right off the bat, and they'll take over in really good field position. The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. From the gun, the running back looking for room. A solid pickup there before the defense is able to make the stop. When you have a conference as deep and balanced as this Big 12 is, it's important to get off to a quick start in conference play.
Yeah, you're going to be challenged each and every week here in the Big 12 Conference. Since they've expanded, the quality of this conference has gotten so much better. So, David, big challenge here to make sure mentally your mind is right starting the season off today.
Yeah, I mean, to make your dreams come true, it starts one game at a time, the old cliche. But the Big 12, year in and year out, so many different teams that can beat you, so many different teams that can put points up on the scoreboard. Got to start fast in Big 12 play.
And the Hoosiers come to the line on 3rd and short, trying to convert here. Might be calling a hot route. Takes it from the gun on 3rd down. Got his man. He's got enough to move the chains, and they'll spot it at the 47.
Well, you love to see this on the first drive of the game, right? 3rd down, go back to the old faithful, the slant pass, something you put in on day 1 install back in spring practice. Executed perfectly, keep this drive alive.
The Hoosiers will line it up on 1st and 10. Sends it back in motion. They'll go to the fullback. Love seeing these early season top 25 matchups. You can get a really good feel of how good these teams are, guys.
And the intensity is going to be big too, David, because the players, you know, on these teams, they've been thinking about this game for a long time. They knew they'd have a national stage, and they got a chance to prove just how good they are.
Oh, man, make that statement. Make that early statement. We always look at the end of the season, and what does the committee say? Oh, they beat top 25 so-and-so. Here's your chance to put that on your resume that'll pay off big time and late in the season.
And he finds some solid space, makes a nice game before the defense is able to stop it.
Listen, you got to be able to know what play to call and what hole to go through. Like the line blocks for a certain hole. Good job getting through the hole, getting what was blocked, getting a nice positive gain, making your situation really good on the next down.
Direct snap. It's Walters. And the defense stands up this offensive line and stuffs him right at the line of scrimmage. He didn't get it.
Well, the defense got the stop there on 3rd and 1. Let's see if they can do it again here on 4th and inches, David.
I just got to find a way to fall forward, be physical. We work on this all week. You know you're going for it.
Will not get there. A 4th down stop.
And listen, I have no problem being aggressive on 4th down, but the consequences of that, now you got to have your defense go bail you out. So you started the game trying to be aggressive. Well, defense, you got to get my back now.
It's complete to the right. He'll be forced out of bounds. Let's mark it at the 48-yard line as this offense continues its work.
Hey, quarterback, receiver on the same page. Nice job seeing the zone, understanding the drag route concept. Easy pitch, easy catch.
Alabama with a multitude of options on 2nd and short. Makes the catch. He steps out of bounds, but it will be enough for a first down.
Now, you've seen the evolution of these slot receivers. They're just matchup nightmares. They're hard to get your hand on. A lot of times, they're off the football. You can't jam them. These guys are so productive, and offenses really feature their best players most time in those slot positions.
Out of the shotgun, they go to the ground.
Run game is good. Balance is good. Now, listen, if the run game isn't good, then you got to pass the football a little bit more. But sometimes you got to keep them honest, take them chunk by chunk.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Back to pass. They'll run the screen. Not a whole lot of room there on that screen pass, as it just never developed.
Those screen plays, you really want to sell it, get it to your running back, and get him to the second level. Get him running full head of steam on a safety, on a linebacker. He almost got going, but just got tackled before he could really do any damage.
Oh, they really could have used that catch there. Physical pass defense. It brings up a 4th down.
And this offense stays aggressive, and they pass the football. I think you can always look back and say, 3rd and short, I'd love for you to run it, be the more physical team. But nice job sticking up and bowing their necks for this defense.
Quarterback doing what he does best. He can move. They got it for the sack, and they'll get the ball back after the 4th down stop.
He had nowhere to go with the football. You could tell, surveying the field, somebody's got to get open to go make a play. Man, throw it up. Run it. Do something. You can't take a sack on 4th down.
There he goes. He got loose, almost housed it, finally dragged down at the 32.
And I tell you what, we can focus on the left side of the line of scrimmage because that's where the play starts. But you don't get big gains when you run out wide unless wide receivers. Yes, wide receivers commit to blocking, staying on their guys. Really good job on the outside by giving the running back space to make the big play.
Noses ahead to the 30-yard line and pick up a 1.
And you want to run the football. That's okay. You'll take some of these. But if they start to add up down the road, obviously, you might want to think about airing it out a little bit.
Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on 2nd down. Wants to go up top. Just missed on the connection. Incomplete.
Well, that's one the offense would love to have back. That's a play they practice over and over and over. They feel like they can run that play in their sleep, not able to connect there.
Long, and he'll try to throw for it. Working that left side now. That'll be enough for the first down, and now they've got it at the 15-yard line. 3rd down, a lot of times it comes down to not necessarily who's the most open, who do you trust the most?
No, it's not about the X's and the O's. It's about the Jimmies and the Joes. And when my guy's better than you and I get you matched up out wide, and I know I trust you, I'm finding it.
And they'll make the stop, and we are headed to the end of the first period. Defense has dominated the early part of this game, and the stats point that out emphatically. Let's see if the offenses can find a little rhythm here in the 2nd. Going to work in the red zone. They can't pick up the first down without getting it into the end zone. On the run, it's Walter. He's brought down at the 7-yard line, and they are threatening to take it in. The terrain gets rough this deep in the red zone. 3rd down. They can't pick up the first without scoring. He'll go to the sneak.
Well, he gets stuffed on that QB sneak. He's just not doing a really good job of reading the crease and finding a little space to kind of tuck into and drive his feet. He's just running himself into a wall, Dave.
Well, and how about the big boys up front? Make a crease, push somebody back, create some space. There was nowhere to go.
They'll try to convert from the Wildcat. On the snap, it's Schuster. And he runs it in for the score. Touchdown, Indiana! That trip to the end zone is 25th career touchdown.
Man, he's been productive, just has a nose for the end zone. This dude's made big play after big play for his offenses, and that's 25 touchdowns, Palmer, on the ground for the big fella.
Pretty impressive, too, when you consider when you get close to that end zone, the defense is expecting run, they're loading the box, and still this guy's been able to find his way in. 25, it's a nice number.
Here he comes from inside his own 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. Jesse.
I think they got to do a better job here, just being better early in the downs on first down, finding positive plays.
Yeah, and it's frustrating when you move the football and get stopped on the other side of the field and get no points, but they've had some success, and I like the aggressiveness. They just got to cash some of these drives in.
Picked off. What a play to set him up. Takes it the other way. Touchdown, Hoosiers. This defense making a big play and putting it in the end zone. There's a little bit of distance right now being put on the scoreboard.
There is, but it's so awesome when you're a defense and you study all week about what's
My
coming.
bad, my mic was
what
muted. Why he
routes to
throw
be
that,
ready
Chad?
for, and then you jump the route and you make the plays and you just go get in that end zone. It is so beautiful.
Looking for an alley from inside his own 10. Finds his way up to the 24 before he goes out of bounds. Guys, here comes that Alabama offense onto the field. They really need to find a way to generate some offense here, having fallen behind 13-zip. Good blocking, good running, pickup of 6 out to the 30.
And winning first downs is a priority for a defense, and you can't get bludgeoned. You can't get physically beat at the point of attack. You know the percentages. It's usually pretty good on first down that they're going to run the football.
Wide open spaces. Across the 50-yard line on the huge pickup, and he's out of bounds at the 45.
Man, and we're seeing the tight end used more and more in the passing game. You see him moving inside. You see him moving outside. You see him moving in the box to block people. So here they put him in the slot, just have a nice little pitch and catch session.
Second down, brother. It's 27. Zero speed. Pick a game. Pick a play. No procrastination.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Looking to fire. Quick completion on the out route. Guided out of bounds at the 22. A good play for this offense as they are threatening to score.
Yeah, when you get that man coverage, most people are taught to have inside leverage. So that out route's there if your QB can put some air on it and throw it outside of the guy. But tight coverage, but a really nice throw on that out route.
This offense has been sluggish to say the least, but finally they're on the move on 1st and 10. Looking to throw on first down. Using the quick game. He hauled that one in and got it down to the 15-yard line.
Well, the defense playing zone coverage there. They're taking away all of the QB's primary options down the field, so he has to check it down to the drag running underneath.
The Crimson Tide can dig into that playbook here on 2nd and short. Back to pass. Makes the grab. Goes out of of bounds on the play, and he's got him set up first and goal. He's just winning that matchup in the slot every time.
And when you put him in the slot, Reese is closer to the quarterback. It's an easier throw. We can run in, we can run out, and really take advantage of his versatility of the guy in that slot position.
On first and goal, let's see if Alabama can get it in the end zone. From the gun. Under fire. Big fella moving. Fighting for the end zone, and he dropped it. Defense picks it up. Nice pick.
Damn, I tried to call a timeout for you.
On the return, but more important, they got the takeaway, and now they're in business.
Before he did.
This is a defense that prides themselves on getting takeaways, and with their backs against the wall, they're able to force the fumble and fall on it in the end zone for a touchback.
Might have to give that coach a flag and a whistle. He was right on in his view of the play, and the officials agree and overturn the call. Second down, they'll go to the air. Got his man out of the backfield. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Bama!
And I tell you what, that passing touchdown, man, that should spark this whole team. Like, the comeback is more than on now. Like, they got the touchdown. They cut into the lead. You want to get a stop and go into the half, get all the juices, all the excitement, and be like, listen, the passing game's rolling. We got this. The comeback's in full effect.
So the officials take a closer look, and the replay booth will overturn the call. Timeout called by the defense is their first of the half, as they'll go to the sideline and try to make adjustments. They've already squandered a couple of chances to score touchdowns in the red zone, and now another opportunity. It's third and goal. Let's it fly.
Thank you, stupid.
And it'll be intercepted in the end zone. He goes down after the short return, but what a play to get the football back.
It's all about making plays, and this guy's been waiting to make his mark on this team. He gets his first interception of the season, and what a momentum-changing play for his team.
Release to the back, and his throw is incomplete.
I don't know about the decision that time by the quarterback. He may have been expecting man coverage, but that time the defense was in zone, and they did a really nice job closing the window. The intended target was not open. That's why that one fell incomplete.
After that last incompletion, here's second and 10 from their own 20. Misfired on the last play. They'll go back to the air. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face third down.
And this offensive line's got to do a little better job, man. You've got to give your quarterback time to go through his progressions. Go to 1 to 2 and then maybe make a play. And he goes off of his first target, and you could tell he did not have much time getting hit as he's trying to throw the football. You've got to protect your quarterback.
They'll keep this drive moving by picking up the first down. They have it at the 36.
You know, it's a nice throw by the QB there. When you're throwing to running backs, you got to make it easy on them. So you want to put it right on their body, make the catch simple, and let them go to work like they did just there, getting that first.
Wants to throw it. Got it set up on the outside. And that did not work. Defense smelled that one out from the beginning.
And this offense gets nothing done on that play, but look at them. They're continuing to run this tempo. They want to try to do something to get a spark going to create a big play.
Might be changing the route. Wants to fire on second down. Dumps it to the back. That's caught. It's Walter. Turning it on. And he gets a big chunk of yardage to the 34-yard line. The offense uses a timeout to stop the clock, and they'll get a quick breather. And the Hoosiers come to the line with a new set of downs. Gonna run it. It's Walter. He's gonna lose a yard on that one. The Hoosiers is racing to the line in a hurry up. Wants to throw. He's working against the clock. Makes the grab. And just a short, safe pass play. They pick up a few. Time dwindling away as they try to put points on the board right before the half. On 3rd and long, he's going to have to throw for it. Oh, what a cut! Inside the 20-yard line. Pushed out at the 18, and they're in business. Final seconds of the first half, and they'll try to put up 3. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. So with only seconds left in the half, here comes the field goal unit. Not a particularly long kick from 36 yards out, but he'll have to guide it in from the left hash. Never a doubt. They'll trot off to the locker room after the field goal to close the half. We played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update. Stadium buzzing, kickoff team on the field, and we are ready to get this thing started. He'll bring it out. And he did a good job bobbing and weaving and finding a little bit of running room on that return. The Tide offense rolls onto the field. Down 2 possessions to start this 3rd quarter. They'd love to build some early momentum.
You ain't lying, because you only got so many possessions here in the second half, so now you're down. I got to maximize every single one. Put your best plays together. Start this drive off on a good note.
Yeah, it starts right here. Obviously, you can't get it all back on this drive, but you can create that momentum. You can create something special and some energy, but it's going to start with this offense here executing at a high level.
Looking down the middle. And he throws his 3rd pick of the day. His head has to be spinning. He managed a few yards on that return, but the bigger play was the fact that they forced the turnover.
Well, that's the 2nd pick in as many series now for this quarterback. But David, I love the defense right now and the way they're reading and reacting to all these route concepts. I mean, they are all over these guys at the back end.
All over the field, making plays. Listen, you're supposed to see the quarterback break on the football. You've seen several breaks on the football. Your job is to know what the offense does really, really well, and you can tell this defense is dialed in, and they know exactly what this offense wants to accomplish.
Gonna swing it on 2nd down. Those 2 failed to make the connection. It's an incomplete pass. And the Hoosiers are at the line looking to convert on 3rd and short. On 3rd and short, they'll try to convert through the air. And that's incomplete. A defender all over him. Knocked the ball to the ground. 4th down coming up. 1 for 2 on 4th down attempts so far, and we will get a 3rd attempt here. He'll try to throw and pick up the 1st down. Complete out of the backfield, looking for the sticks. Makes the grab, and it's enough for the 1st down before he's dragged to the ground. Last completion moved the sticks, and let's see if they try it again. They'll send the back in motion. Looking downfield on 1st down. Pocket breaking down. He's going to run it. Breaks into the open. Inside the 20-yard line. Pushed out at the 18, and they're in business. The Hoosiers are moving quickly down the field. They'll move the wide receiver. Running the red zone. It's Walters.
And I think this has probably been the most surprising thing of this game so far. This guy's one of the best running backs in the entire country. They just can't get him going. He's never been able to get into a rhythm. You got to give the defense so much credit because they have been able to shut this guy down. And they got to keep that up here in the second half.
They get him
That's a big key for this offense. Now, you've got the lead here in the second half. You want to run the football. You've got to just keep getting positive yards. You got to keep the third downs manageable so you can stay on the field, bleed the clock. That's going to be the key for this offense and their team winning the game.
The option look. He just has a nose for those little crevices to be able to find space, and he picks up the first down.
I just love it when my quarterback knows situational football. They run the option. He understands. It's 4th and short. Like, I got to stick my nose in there, get north-south, and try to get that first down. I love when I have a quarterback that can do that.
Wide receiver comes in motion. This quarterback part of their running game. Once that ball was loose, offense didn't have a chance. Defenders everywhere. It's a turnover.
Man, and it was just the impact.
Bro,
The hit that dislodged the football from the ball carrier. There was a heat-seeking missile coming in there, and he knocked that thing loose.
I thought so.
And how about the keen eyes and sharp awareness from the coach to challenge that call, and the officials agree it'll go his way. They go to the Wildcat here, looking to take advantage of that extra blocker. Let's go. Back has it. Oh, they're after him. It's incomplete. He was shooting for the end zone right there.
I love the vision on the quarterback by this defense. Dude, you know that ball's going to come out pretty quick down here on the goal-to-go situation. They break on the football, and they make sure they swat it down so the offensive guy can't make a play.
Right.
Into the end zone. Touchdown, Indiana! And the pummeling has started. These guys are really hitting their stride in week 4 as they push out that lead.
One of the areas they really focused on with this receiver in the offseason was, we need you to make more plays for us in the end zone. When we're taking shots, we need to be able to step up and make tough catches. David, what a grab right there.
And I think a lot of that has to do with trusting your guy, knowing where he's going to be, knowing when he's going to sit down, when he's not. So being on the same page, and then having a guy that can go get it. Just when the ball is near him, he's going to make the play, just like he did right there for 6 points.
He's able to sneak his way across the 20 and steps out at the 21. From pressure, trying to escape and get it himself. Firing to the right, complete, and he's brought down, but a flag is also down. A very productive play until it was wiped out by that penalty, and they'll go back to work. Line getting set on 2nd down. Wants to go up top. Unloads to the wideout. Wide open downfield. That one could really put this drive into high gear as they have a first down at the 37.
When we were throwing these comeback routes, man, the timing has got to be so good between the two of them, because you know the ball is going to be in the air a long time. If you can't throw it late, it's going to get picked. That time, really nice job getting it out early, and the receiver doing a nice job on his route so that the ball was right on him as soon as he turned around.
And I kind of like how the running back didn't mess around. Like, just get downhill when you see an opening. A lot of times they close so fast, man. Be decisive, stick your foot in the ground, pick up 3 to 4, and we are not going to complain.
Throws to the wideout. Ball is loose. Ball bounced right to him, and he's on the move.
That is a nice break for the offense. Man, those are plays that you don't think about down the road, but those are turnovers. If they just bounce a little bit in the direction of the defense, you're so jacked up. You create momentum, juice. It could change the game. That's a great break for the offense.
Little touch pass to the receiver. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
Got to give the defense credit. Watching film, anticipating. They knew that this offense had this play in their back pocket. They knew about the speed of this wide receiver and different ways they were going to try to get him involved. Everybody on defense on the same page, playing together. I love it.
And listen, as a quarterback, you're trying to find the matchup, trying to find who's open. I don't know if anybody was open, but that was not a greatly thrown football. I don't know if it was miscommunication, but the ball thrown out of bounds, and Just on to the next down.
On third down, he drops to throw. Fires to the wideout. Makes the catch. It's Jefferson. Ripping off a good chunk inside the 25, and they're set up with a first down. One more quarter to go, and it looks as if we are ready to play. Final stands of the game, and we'll start with the first down. Looking to throw on first down. Gets it out quickly. Oh, he's got some space. Huge gain before he goes out of bounds, and now they've got it first and goal.
This guy's gotten off to a good statistical start, guys. With that last completion, he's already now over 1,000 passing yards on the season, and man, you know he's looking for more.
This defense might be reeling after those last two, and now facing first and goal. Quarterback on the move, still looking. And that incomplete pass caused by the big hit on first down, second down coming.
This defense has just had this QB's number all game long. We're here in the fourth quarter, and still, he's not able to set up in the pocket. He gets flushed to the outside, nothing open, and it's an incompletion.
Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a second and long coming. Looking to fire. Going for 6. And he's on his way. He'll go all the way. Touchdown tie.
And finally, man, this offense, they have struggled all day. They've been shut out all game. Finally put a drive together, got some points on the board, got some good mojo. Maybe they can take this into next week. I know it's been a bad day, but sometimes these type of things can carry over.
He's looking to pass. Picked off to stop the threat.
I love the coverage by the defense right here. Great job getting up in their space. Nothing easy down here for a two-point conversion. The interception was just great.
They're getting set to kick it away, and that last score took a little oomph out of this crowd. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. Indiana has the ball back, and the Hoosier offense comes out ready to go. On that last drive, defense had no idea what was happening, run or pass, and it wound up in the end zone, Jesse.
Yeah, you saw the experience in this offense.
There he goes. Across the 40, out of bounds at the 41, and a big pickup has this offense on the move.
There are a lot of offensive coordinators out there. A similar situation with a lead like this. They'd definitely be running the ball at this point. They'd probably take their starting quarterback out of the game potentially, but not this unit. They are still staying aggressive. They're still taking shots. They're just trying to light up the scoreboard.
And he avoids the hits and slides after the short gain.
Listen, that's not going to go down as a big play, but he does a really good job turning a negative play into something positive. It's not a big gain, but it keeps you out of those negative situations and really makes you very predictable.
At the 35, he's open. Flying out to the left. Touchdown, Hoosier! And the punishment has been extended. They put another score on the board as they try to push this winning streak to 3. You're not going to keep the lid on this guy forever. Sooner or later, he's going to get loose.
He is. He's a bad mother. Shut your mouth. I mean, this dude can make plays. That's why you keep feeding it to him, because at some point, he's going to bring it loose and make a huge play.
And he's going to bring it out. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. Here comes that Alabama offense. It looks as if this game is going to be one to just drag to the recycle bin, but the idea now is to finish strong and just take whatever happens in the rankings next week.
That's a really nice game. It just would have been really nice to see this from this offense earlier. Now you're getting to the point where there's a couple of thought processes. Do I build momentum for next week? Do I try to get this offense, the ground game clicking, or do I throw the football every play and try to make this football game close?
To the air on first down. Fires to the tight end. Didn't pick up a lot there. Moved it forward just a few.
You got to like this defense, man. All game long, great job tackling the football. Like, you throw it on the perimeter, they're coming up. They're not giving the run after the catch to these receivers. A lot of times you see so much damage done after the catch. This defense has been dialed in, and the big play has been a non-issue.
He had all kinds of company as soon as he got it. He had to fight his way back just to get to the line of scrimmage.
One of the two, bro.
Here on third down for this offense. From the gun, wants to pass. Another interception. This guy just can't find his own players. Picked up a few extra on that return, but what a play by this defense to get the football. Indiana sends the offense onto the field. They had this thing in a hammerlock at halftime, and now they are really ratcheting up the pressure, David.
And I tell you what, this offense doesn't have to change a thing, Paul. They done what they wanted in the first half and starting off the second half in the same fashion.
And I like how they're letting different.
Strong pass rush gets to the quarterback, and they get him at the 46. And the Hoosiers in the hurry up.
And they got to protect their quarterback better up front. They got to give him a little bit more time to make some damage down the field. But look at this. Here they go. No huddle, back on the line, make the defense communicate. Maybe you can catch him sleeping.
He found a little opening and got loose. They couldn't stop him in the backfield, so a solid pickup there. Lining up to convert third down. Quarterback making adjustments. Unloads to the wideout. Got his man downfield. He'll work his way down to the 28.
Well, I think on that play you saw why this guy's such a big weapon in this offense. At receiver, he does such a nice job with his routes. He's patient, and he's consistent, and he's got good hands. You don't see him put a lot of balls on the ground. Nice job there picking up the first down.
Just a hair too much on it from this big-arm sophomore quarterback.
I'm a little bit surprised they're still throwing the football here this late in the game with this kind of lead. They're on first down, taking a shot, falls incomplete, but obviously they're still seeing matchups that they want to take advantage of in the back end of this defense, so they're letting it fly.
We've reached the 2-minute timeout, and the clock is definitely on their side. They'll just try to run it out here. Defense getting stingier in their own end of the field. It's third and long from the 28. Down. Okay, ready. Okay, great. Motion from the back. On third and long, try to convert through the air. Slings it downfield. Intercepted. They were back in their own end, and they stopped the drive. Good gain on the return, and this defense has set them up with a big play.
There were a lot of people really excited about what this guy could do. Some were saying he could be an All-American, and he's proving them right. That's already his second interception early in this college football season. Offenses are going to figure it out. They're going to stop throwing this guy's way. You just get...
And his fifth interception of the game, a miracle they haven't pulled it yet. He goes down after the short return, but what a play to get the football back. Indiana has the ball back, and the Hoosier offense comes out ready to go. Firmly in control of this game. We'll see if they just try to run out the clock and get out with a victory.
Everybody on offense here should feel really good about their performance today, too, David. They had a really good game plan coming into this one. They went out and they executed at a very high level.
Yeah, lights out, and this game's over. I'm interested to see the philosophy now. Do we keep chucking the pill and to keep trying to score points? Because it's the defense's responsibility to stop them. Or do they just run this clock and say, all right, we did enough today. We kicked them in the face.
Fires to the big fella. Finds a crease at the 20. He hauled that one in and got it down to the 15-yard line. The Hoosiers come to the line in the hurry up. Back in motion, try to clear the picture. Wants to throw on first down. Just a hair too much on it from this big-armed sophomore quarterback.
And that's a good stop for this defense. And listen, there hasn't been a lot of positive today, but let's finish this game strong. I think that'll be the message from the defensive coordinator. Can we get a stop? Can we get them off the field? I know a lot's went wrong, but let's live in this moment and try to be great right here to end the game.
They'll go to work in the air on second down. He's got him still on his feet. And they're going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their total.
This has been a complete performance. The defense has been lights out, and the offense, obviously, just continues to pour it on. This is what you call having a great day. Putting it all together, offense, defense, complementary football.
The returner's going to try to see what he can get. And they'll bring him down to get the offense started on the next drive. Drive will open from the 15. From the gun, leaves it on the inside with the back. Turning it on! Now they've got a little room to work with. They're out to the 28 with a first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. They'll give it to him again. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, they're trying to run the football there, just nowhere to go. They got dominated up front at the point of attack.
They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. From the gun, they'll try to impose their running game. Out across the 30 to the 39 after getting 10 on that one.
I think it's just too little too late, David, at this point. That's a play that they could have used a lot earlier in this game, but because of miscues, they're down by a lot late, and I don't think they're going to have enough time to claw back into this one.
Yeah, and I'm fine with you running that play if you want to do that. My goal now is with this lead, if you want to run it, so be it, but just don't give up the big plays. Let that clock continue to roll. Make him earn it all the way down the field and take a lot of time off that clock.
Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. From the gun, the ground game. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender.
That's a fantastic play by the linebacker. He has such tremendous instincts. As soon as he sees run, he's coming downhill. He's got great speed. He gets you on the ground. That's why he's one of the best linebackers in the entire country.
Alabama comes to the line with 1st and 10. It's a lost cause, but they keep fighting. Right down the middle. He's got an open man. He goes out of bounds. Big pickup on the play. It'll look nice in the stats column, but probably not enough to make a difference in the game. Coming into this one, we wondered whether these guys were a little bit overrated, and certainly they did nothing to dispel that notion.
They were playing angry today, and I know talking to some of their players, David, coming into this game, they felt like they were being disrespected. A lot of people thought their opponent might get them today, so they took this opportunity to make a statement and make an example out of their opponent.
And those are fun moments in the locker room, aren't they, Jesse? Like, everybody's doubting us.